Hello, fabulous superstar Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. It is going to be on the 6th of the month that we will have this month's full moon. Now, this full moon takes place in the sign just before yours, a decidedly quiet part of your sky. It has to do with what's happening on levels of soul and psyche and spirit, underneath the surface, behind the scenes. Now, Jupiter is standing across the sky from this full moon, and I see the energy working out a few different ways. So one is, I think this could just represent tiredness. It's like you need more sleep at this time. And that's actually a really good way to address this energy, because a lot can dissipate in a positive way on levels of soul and psyche and spirit at this time, especially in the dream space where so much within you might be stirring. But this can also represent closures, karmic closures that happen now, and they come with mixed feelings. Now, I do think it won't take long for you to see how it was a fortunate closure that could be transpiring now. But yes, that is one possibility. Now, karmic blessings are covered here as well, interestingly, and there could be some blessing that shows up, but it may not necessarily seem like a blessing on the surface. And it's always up to you to decide what's right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't say that Jupiter moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with your well-being and how well you take care of you. That's providing protection on a health level, and that's wonderful. But standing across a full moon like this, I feel like this could almost be like missing a dose of your medication, or sort of overseeing something that you do regularly to take the best of care of you. Maybe having it not come together for some reason. Maybe there's a slight oversight in some way. Maybe you have a slight allergic reaction to something. It's that kind of energy here. No big deal at all. You're able to address it as soon as you identify it. It could just represent, again, if there's a dip of energy, then you may want to just go back in your mind and think, okay, did I take all my medications today? Did I do what I needed to do? And there you'll be able to very quickly connect the dots, if you will. Now, as we navigate further, really a lot of energy begins to accelerate exactly where Jupiter is, this health-oriented part of the sky for you, but also having to do with your daily life, including your work life as well. Now, with so much important energy here, it does suggest that your daily life is especially busy. So there's a lot of activity happening, perhaps in your workplace or the places that you frequent every day. There can be heightened activity with clients, customers, coworkers, and immediate supervisors as well. So here are some things to consider. We are going to have the luckiest day of the year on the 11th. This is so powerful, so beautiful, and can bring a burst of healing physically, but also to your relationships with these very key people that I just mentioned. It can also bring with it really wonderful tasks that feel especially rewarding for you in some way. Jupiter, though, is an energy that you have to work with consciously. You have to engage it to make the most of it. And so if it is that you're hoping to change things up in the workplace, well, this is really great energy to reach out, make those connections, fortify those relationships, perhaps reach out to your regular clients or customers as well, offer something in that regard, or maybe you're inspired to contribute through your work or your workplace at this time. And this would be wonderful energy for having those efforts pay off. If it is that you're hoping to make changes, positive changes, so that you can feel better where it comes to your health, you may very quickly reap reward at this time. However, as we navigate further, the 20th is when we are going to have a solar eclipse in this same part of the sky. And eclipses are different. They are a whole other energy. Eclipses are wild cards. They represent concentrated energy. In this case, it's a new moon solar eclipse. So it's like a jacked up new moon, right? It's like 30 times more powerful than your regular new moon, and represents new beginnings that seem to come out of nowhere. And that really is key here with this eclipse. we've got your modern ruling planet Pluto squaring this eclipse, which does suggest that there may be some stress or some strong desire for change at this time. It could feel as if there's some tension playing out with clients, customers, coworkers, immediate supervisors. I'm so sorry to say, but it does happen. But again, Jupiter's here. So we have Jupiter close in the sky to this eclipse, which does suggest a measure of protection here with you at this time. I would also add, where it comes to making changes on a health level, stay open. Some of those changes that you're inspired to make could come rather quickly, and it seems that you're deeply committed to experiencing positive outcomes where it comes to your overall sense of well-being. Now, keep in mind also, if you think back a month earlier, it was late last month that we had a new moon in this same part of the sky at the very beginning, 0 degrees. So it really represented brand new insights and possibilities, and where it is perhaps you were receiving new information. Now we have this eclipse at 29 degrees. An eclipse is already concentrated, as I explained, but at 29 degrees, that is a concentration point in the sky. And so, in some ways, this may represent a furtherance, if you will, as to what was transpiring for you just a month earlier. This is where things really solidify and again take on a will of their own in some way. So stay open to see what it is that needs to change. It's a new moon, it represents new opportunities. I think most likely it's going to bring very suddenly new people into your workplace at this time, and that may take a little bit of adjustment before you find your flow. Now, where it comes to matters of love, that is big news for you now, because we are going to have on the 8th of April, Mercury going into shadow. On the 20th of April, under the light of the solar eclipse, we have Mercury going retrograde. All of this in your opposite sign. And Mercury will enter the month of May retrograde as well before he goes direct and moves through shadow period for that third and final time. And so what this suggests is you are really considering what's happening in the context of partnerships in some way. And so some of that considering may involve someone from your past that you were partnered with before, or it may be a current circumstance or someone new. The thing to remember though is when you have Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign, it represents how things may not necessarily be as they seem. So breakups that happen tend to be rooted in miscommunication. They tend to not stay broken up. And if you meet new people, what your first impressions are may not be actually what is there. That will be revealed, especially once we have Mercury direct in May. Now, that really is okay. Sometimes things can work out even better. Sometimes not, but sometimes yes. So it's a good idea to, again, stay open, see what the universe has planned for you where it comes to your connections with other people. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, yes, you may connect with someone new or with someone from your past. They may pop up in some way. All is not as it seems, especially once the retrograde officially begins on the 20th under the light of that eclipse. But if you're connecting with someone right around that time under the eclipse, well, chances are the meeting comes on rather suddenly or developments happen very quickly as well. Be mindful of workplace romances. I have to say that because of that eclipse. Eclipses bring the truth out into the open very quickly. And yeah, if there's something happening in the workplace and you really don't want people to know about it, well, the energies do suggest that that could happen. So again, it's up to you to decide how you want to proceed. For those of you just starting to date somebody, I see this Mercury retrograde as a time, in a way, there's reveal, like really going under the surface and seeing what's really going on. But at the same time, all is not clear. Sometimes with Mercury retrograde, there can be a lot of mixed messages, mixed feelings, missed communications as well. One person thinks the plans are one way, the other thinks they're a different way. And so there can be this sense of maybe not always being on the same page. And you get to decide whether or not you feel it's worth continuing to navigate forward to see if anything could be here. I think it's going to take Mercury direct once we navigate to the middle of May. After that, you'll see whether or not there really is something here in terms of the long term. And for those of you in an established bond, what a powerful time this can be. Again, breakups that happen that do not stay broken up, and miscommunication becomes that much more possible at a time like this. And yet, where it is perhaps the two of you have some unaddressed matters in your past, well, this is a time when the two of you can talk things through, cards on the table, find yourself on the same page in the best possible sense. That could be a good way to use this Mercury retrograde. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. Well, look, we do have the luckiest day of the year on the 11th. I think this is going to bring with it a burst of you feeling better, especially right around the 11th. I love this for you. It looks like you are feeling vital and alive where it comes to your work. You're feeling that it is rewarding and that things are changing in a positive direction. And it really is by harnessing the power of your day that not only do you use it well, but you end up feeling that much more fulfilled and happy right where you are now. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Now, higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.